The style listings and the animational look of Ghibli films is one that is ingrained in Japanese culture and the Japanese people. But hey, nowadays, anyone and anybody around the world can create this same aesthetic and same look as Ghibli. Some people are giving thumbs up, and there's a lot of people that I think who are giving little thumbs downs. Hey everyone, welcome back to another kind of episode. We're the hosts. My name is MJ.
My name is Adam.
And we'd like to welcome you into our space that is now your space to improve your English by immersing yourself in an English conversation with two native speakers, me being from America and Adam being from Canada. And hey, people who are very well versed know a lot about Japanese culture, which will hopefully make you feel a little more comfortable in joining this conversation. Today's conversation is all about more Japanese culture, the Ghibli Studios look becoming infused with AI, or should I say AI stealing the Ghibli studio look and style. So I'm sure this is something that everyone has been seeing if you are on X, Instagram, TikTok, almost anywhere, maybe even on the news, have talked about this new AI that has been so good, has been improving so much that it can take different stylistic imagery, visuals of different movies, or in this case, animations, and turn any of your videos or pictures into that style. The main one that we're all looking about that has some controversy around is the Ghibli styles. The Ghiblification of
parts
of us, of the Ghiblification within the
social
internet.
networks, yes.
Oh my gosh. So Adam, have you seen these?
Yes, and I have been subject to a Ghiblification. My wife recently Ghiblified a family picture of us.
Okay.
I was impressed. I myself wasn't going to do it, but seeing the picture, I was like, wow, this is good.
Yeah.
This is really
Right.
good.
Right.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
I would like to share the post, but as a fan of Ghibli, and someone who's outside of Japanese culture, looking in a lot of times, I feel like it's cool to be a part of it in some weird way. I see the dangers already of things of AI, not just of AI, but like things getting lost and misunderstood, if I could say that, or not understood at all, or things becoming a fad, things becoming a boom, things becoming a craze, and the original piece of art losing its essence, I guess, losing its importance.
Right. The special.
Mamma mia.
Al dente, no. losing the significance that it has to the people who have been moved or touched by it. So this is a pretty big issue, I believe, just for people, or I guess people around the world, but in different ways. I feel like in the US, North America, Europe as well, there's a lot of people who are still recently, in this current age, getting into anime. Japanese anime and learning about it. And many people understand that the top dog of anime in Japan is Ghibli. Miyazaki-san is, the main director, one of the creators who is pushing forward and has been creating a lot of these awesome, entertaining, heart-touching, influential animations. I think around the world, once this kind of came up, like you were mentioning, it's going to become a boom. It has become this fad because so many people look to Ghibli style and love it, right? You could look at it and you could tell right away, like, oh, is this a Ghibli? You'd have the question, like, this is Ghibli, right? Because of the way it looks. And because a lot of other anime styles look at that and they respect that, and they will not really go close to try to imitate Ghibli style, right? Of course, back in the day, many different brands or many different studios were creating their own look. Maybe some artists, like if you look at Ghibli and then like Dragon Ball, they're totally different styles, right? Ghibli and Kimetsu no Yaiba are totally different styles.
Totally different, yeah.
All of them are different. They want to stand out on their own. So to copy Ghibli would kind of No, actually not kind of. Would be a really, really negative thing in the animation world.
Right. Yeah.
But here we are now, everyone. Outside of the animation world, this has gone into the world of AI and technology. So the people who are making this are not putting their blood, sweat, and tears and hours of skill to copy it. It's just, oh, let me just tap this button. So it has become easy. So, like you mentioned, once you saw it, you're like, oh, wow, this is kind of cool, And other people are doing the same thing. They see
Yeah.
somebody who does it, maybe a friend who's done it and posted it on their social, and they're like, oh, okay, well, let me try too. Dude, do you remember a few years ago, Instagram had a filter that was like a Pixar Disney filter,
Yes.
right?
I remember.
Everyone started uploading
Right.
videos of themselves in this Disney-ficational look,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Everyone was doing it. It was the boom. Of course, now we look at it and doesn't really seem like to be a popular thing anymore. People are
Right.
gonna be like, "Oh, Furuino," like that's
Well, yeah.
like,
Oh,
you can't do that anymore.
what are you, a grandpa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like when people in Japan like or me if I pull out like old Japanese comedy gags like gets like people are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Furuino," or from like, "Hey," and people are like, "MJ, like what are you doing?" No, if that happens to this Ghibli style, that ruins. Like you're mentioning, it can take away, could have a negative effect to
Yeah.
the original Ghibli look and how
Right.
people feel about Ghibli. And this is now we're going to change the conversation. How people feel about Ghibli around the world compared to how people feel in Japan about
In
Ghibli
Japan.
movies and the
Yeah.
studio is
Right.
very, very different.
I think there's levels. I think there's like I don't want to say people like myself and MJ. Maybe even people even like feel more strongly that are not Japanese about Ghibli. There's people like MJ and I who know about Ghibli, who not grown up watching Ghibli, but who really like love the anime style. We love the movies. We've seen multiple movies. We've gone to the theater to watch the movies,
Yep.
possibly. We've invested a portion of our lives into this type of movie anime, and we've understood what goes into making it. Then there's people who have seen the movies. They think they're okay. They're not that interested into the movie, but they like it. They appreciate it.
Mm.
Then there's people who've seen the movie. They're less like meh. And then there's people who haven't seen the movie at all. We're all kind of connected with this AI because
Oh.
if I do this I feel like, oh wow, I'm like kind of connected. I made myself into a Ghibli character,
Mhm.
and it's really cool because now I'm part of the Ghibli universe, right?
Yeah.
And I really like want to be connected to Miyazaki somehow. And other people might feel the same way, but then it goes down the line where somebody who doesn't really know about Ghibli, not interested, will see, oh, that's a cool anime picture. Let me do the same thing. But they don't really care about it. They just want the anime picture.
Yeah.
And that's where I see that problem where maybe Miyazaki-san he's seeing that not only is his work being stolen, but it's not being appreciated in the way that he would like it to be appreciated, or
Oh,
the
okay,
people
okay.
who helped create this universe, this movie be
Mm.
appreciated, because there's so much work that goes into it. Sometimes years and years and years it takes to make one scene, let
Right.
alone the whole movie. And
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody just comes along, make me in the style of Ponyo on the Rocks. And
Yeah.
2 minutes later, they have a picture of themselves.
Yeah, and it's done.
Yeah.
So I feel like the respect has
Yeah.
been is kind of lost and
Lost.
like you mentioned, anyone and anybody can now do this. They don't have
Right,
to
right.
have an artistic mind
Yes,
or
yes.
a kind of artistic values. Where I
Right.
feel like people in art world who or any kind of, if you're a drawing
Yeah.
illustrator, what you create is yours. There's some people, I think a lot of people who get very offended if another person comes or a brand comes, steals your image, your
Mhm.
design, and then
Yeah.
puts it on their product without giving you credit, without asking you or anything. Of course, people are going to be upset about that. It's like,
Right.
hey, that's mine. You can't just take my stuff.
Right, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you can't just at a coffee shop go over to someone else's table and start drinking their coffee.
It's-
That's mine coffee. What are you doing, right?
Yeah.
And there's other people in the world of art and stuff who maybe don't care at all
Yeah,
about it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
In
What's
this
the
case,
problem? What's the
I
big
feel
deal?
yeah. In this case, if we're looking at Disney recently, they've opened up their license, or they released like the old Mickey, Steamboat Mickey and stuff. They've
Yeah.
released a lot of licensing connections to their characters and their looks, so anybody can use them. And they're kind of saying like, whatever, maybe it's
Better that way.
better publicity. They're getting,
Yeah.
it's commercials for them in a way.
Right.
But in Japan, I've seen many restaurants or shops go out of business because the shop owner was just getting too old and he didn't have anybody to pass it off to. And
Yeah.
instead of selling it, they're like, you know what? I'm going to go down with the ship. The captain that goes down with the ship. Nobody's going to take over this. I don't have the confidence of somebody who can do the same thing. Maybe it has to be in the family or something, but this idea of this craftsmanship being passed down through generation in
Yeah.
Japan is still such a strong
Strong,
value
Yeah.
that I'm sure, I think I haven't read like an article, but I've seen a few headlines of Miyazaki, or on YouTube, people be like, hey, Miyazaki is going to be super upset
Yeah.
with all of this AI Ghibli rendered imagery and videos, because they're plainly just stealing his style.
Pretty much.
It's a fad right now.
Yeah.
People are testing it out.
Yeah.
It's this new technology.
Yeah.
And the thing that has been the easiest to do and has been the most wowing, surprising, is turning things, making things to look like Ghibli.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I don't know why it was Ghibli. Why wasn't it One
Dragon
Piece?
Ball.
Why was it
One
Dragon
Piece.
Ball? Make Mike this picture, make us look like Dragon Ball characters, right?
In any situation, I still feel like there's going to be a point where, like, even with music, even with everything, where people are just like, oh, that's the TikTok filter, or oh, that's the
Yeah.
Instagram filter, oh, that's the TikTok song, oh, that's
yeah.
the TikTok TV show,
Oh,
those are the TikTok clothes.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not the TikTok movie. It's not the TikTok animation. This is Ghibli. You don't know Ghibli?
Okay.
That part,
Yeah.
I feel
yeah.
like my impression of this AI stuff is, it's a separate situation, but I feel like the original is going to be lost,
It's getting watered down, and then
watered down,
yeah.
and people will forget about the originator, Miyazaki. And maybe he thinks that same thing too. Maybe he doesn't. But that's what I hope doesn't happen. I hope like that art style, the craftsmanship, whatever came from Ghibli stays at Ghibli, and people will recognize the Ghibli, not the TikTok filter.
Yeah.
I used that last year. It's over now. Why are you
Yeah.
still showing me this stuff?
Yeah. Dude, no, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Totally. It's a
Yeah.
tool. It's a
Yeah.
tool that can go in both directions, depending
Right,
on
yeah.
who is using this tool. Just like the
Right,
internet,
yes.
right? The internet is open. There can be a lot of great things you can do and find on the
Yeah.
internet, and there's a lot of scary, dangerous, horrible things that are on the internet as well. So same with
Yes.
using these tools. There are people who are going to just be like, oh, let me just, create this filter because it's fun. I'm going to share it with
Right,
my
yeah.
family,
Yeah.
or our birthday party is Ghibli themed. So this is what we're going to do. Right?
Right.
Okay, cool, cute, nice. But then there's going to be some people who are going to, play with people's feelings and like, oh, the Naushka, here's the new Naushka, sequel. And they just create a fake
A
version.
fake. Oh.
And they put it up, and then it goes viral, and then everyone's like, did you see the new thing?
Whoa, it's a trailer, 2-minute trailer of Nausicaa Part 2.
Yeah. So I'm sure this will, turn into a heated debate with some
Yeah.
people who are very big fans loyal fans of Ghibli, or possibly even within the staff of the Ghibli studios.
Yeah.
Compared to people who are just like, oh, whatever, just, let us do what we want kind of thing, or attitude. It is a really interesting time that we're living in, because the technology is just getting better and better. I hope that it turns into a fad, and, people will still revere Ghibli as a great animation studio,
Yeah.
no matter where their future ends up. But it's something that we can't really control, everyone. Only thing you can do, everyone, is go out there and buy those Ghibli Blu-ray
Movies.
discs. Buy those movies.
Exactly.
I don't know what to say. Hey, everyone, let us know in the comments what you think about this topic. Have you turned yourself into a Ghibli character? Do you think it's offensive and not right? Let us know in the comments down below. And hey, subscribe to this channel if you're new here and like the video if you thought this was a good one.
We'll see you
On the next step.